And it's a non-stop, rapidly developing story coming in from the Sessions Court in Mumbai, where arguments are still taking place over Aryan Khan's bail plea in court. Now, the Narcotics Control Bureau is arguing against the granting of bail to Aryan Khan. The Narcotics Bureau says that the entire nation is concerned about drug abuse, and it isn't just about one person, but that an entire international link and gang needs to be probed, says the Narcotics Control Bureau in court. They've said they've rejected Aryan Khan's claim. The NCB has told the court that Aryan was aware of drugs that were in the possession of his friend Arbaz Merchant, and that Arbaz was carrying substances for both, even though Aryan Khan himself was not in possession of any drugs. The Narcotics Control Bureau has also said that communications of Aryan Khan with drug peddlers have also been identified by the Narcotics Control Bureau in the form of WhatsApp chats with foreign nationals, which have also been shown in court. The Narcotics Control Bureau has said that the release of the accused, including Aryan Khan, will hinder and hamper the ongoing drug bust investigation. So the Narcotics Control Bureau is opposing bail for Shah Rukh Khan's son once again. Let's go straight across to India Today's reporters who are on the ground on this story. Saurabh Vakhtania is at the Sessions Court. Divyesh Singh is at the Narcotics Control Bureau. Saurabh, coming to you first. It's been over 2 hours inside that court. There has been talk of arguments continuing tomorrow as well. Can you bring us up to speed on the latest, Saurabh? Is this likely to continue tomorrow?
So, well, a very... Absolutely, Shiv. It looks like that the arguments will still go on for tomorrow as well, and Aryan Khan might have to spend more days inside the Arthur Road jail. First of all, to bring out to our viewers that for over 2 hours, the arguments were from the side of the arrested accused advocates. Now, they clearly pointed out, all the three advocates of the arrested accused, first Aryan Khan, then Munmun Dhamecha and Arbaz Merchant, they clearly pointed out, Shiv, that this is not a conspiracy, that all the accusations which have been made that this is a conspiracy, there is a connection, the claim which was said by the NCB, all the advocates clearly said that there is no conspiracy at all, there is no connection with each other. But now when the NCB advocate ASG Anil Singh started to speak in the court, he clearly first pointed out that he needs 1 day time to reply, but the court said you start replying, because if you are going to take more time, you can continue it tomorrow. Now what ASG is saying that they have a full proof evidence against Aryan Khan. He cannot say that he is innocent if no drugs was found from Aryan Khan, but they have WhatsApp chats showing how they were in contact with the drug peddlers. The ASG has now put in and given a whole bunch of WhatsApp chats, Shiv. This is very important for our viewers. The WhatsApp chats between Aryan Khan, Arbaz Merchant and the drug peddlers who are already arrested, the three drug peddlers who are already arrested, their WhatsApp chats are now given to the court. ASG Anil Singh also said that this WhatsApp chats are very incriminating evidence and we cannot put it in the open court, and therefore we are individually given to the judge. Here, the WhatsApp chats are so many pages, so they have pointed out very important points from this WhatsApp chats, and those are handed over to the judge. The NCB lawyer is also saying that the Aryan Khan, Arbaz Merchant, they were all in touch with the drug peddler and buying commercial quantity.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to ask you, Saurabh. This commercial quantity or bulk quantity, this is the first we're hearing of it. Can you expand on this a little bit? What does the Narcotics Control Bureau mean when they say that there is a reference for procuring contraband in bulk quantity? There are interactions with foreign nationals on bulk quantity. Who are they referring to, and what do they mean by bulk quantity? That's big.
So So Shiv, what initially the arguments were put forth by the advocates of the arrested accused? First, Aryan Khan's advocate clearly said that even if he knew Arbaz Khan for Arbaz Merchant for past several years, for past 15 years, he cannot be connected to this particular case. Aryan Khan's lawyer also said that no drugs was found from him, even no cash was found from him. He did not even had the tickets for the cruise ship. He was only invited as a star kid. What the lawyer for Arbaz Merchant clearly said that the quantity of drugs found from Arbaz Merchant was just 6 grams of drugs. It was just for his personal use, and the maximum punishment for that is 1 year. Munmun Dhanesha lawyer clearly said that they do not know Arbaz Merchant nor even Aryan Khan. She is a fashion model and keeps going to such events. So what on this NCB is saying that there are WhatsApp chats that they are buying it, they are procuring it in a huge quantity. They both are friends. You cannot deny that if yes, Aryan Khan, there is no drugs found from Aryan Khan, but there are WhatsApp chats which reveals that both are talking about procuring the drugs from the drug peddlers, and the drug peddler actually delivered those drugs to Arbaz Merchant. So connection and the conspiracy cannot be denied. They also said that over 20 accused are already arrested. A drug peddler which was arrested from the Khar area, commercial quantity of drugs was found from him. A drug peddler was also arrested from the Goregaon area. A commercial quantity may have not been found, but the WhatsApp chat between that particular accused and Arbaz.
No, because this changes the argument completely, Saurabh. And I want to bring in Divyesh also, who's with me live from the Narcotics Control Bureau. Divyesh, you know, so far the argument has been about whether Aryan had any drugs in his possession. The Narcotics Control Bureau had to admit that they had found nothing on him. That has been the core of Aryan and Satish Manishinde, his lawyer's defense in court as well. But the Narcotics Control Bureau appears to be trying to attack that particular defense. They're saying that even though he had nothing in his possession, they're suggesting, and this is what the Narcotics Control Bureau is suggesting through its legal team, that it doesn't matter that he didn't have anything in his possession because there were others carrying stuff for him allegedly. And there are these WhatsApp chats which are talking about procurement of drugs in commercial or bulk quantities. Correct me if I'm wrong, Divyesh, this basically takes the entire case to the next level based on what the Narcotics Control Bureau is saying.
Exactly, Shiv. I would want to elaborate this in 4 points.
Yeah.
The first point that the ASG for NCB made was regarding the Panchnama. During the seizure that happened on Arbaz Merchant, that was 6 grams of charas, the Panchnama done by NCB as per ASG Anil Singh was for both, was for consumption of both Arbaz Merchant and Aryan Khan. The Panchnama states that the drug seized is for both the persons. It is for Arbaz Merchant and it is also for Aryan Khan. The second point that he made was regarding procurement. So the procurement of the drug found on Arbaz Merchant, NCB in their reply had stated that Aryan Khan had helped procure this drug.
Right.
Third point is regarding the WhatsApp chats. Again, what was pointed out by Saurabh and what you had brought up, that bulk quantity purchase communication was found regarding purchase of bulk quantity of contraband, and there was a mention of hard drugs as per NCB officials. And the fourth point that ASG Anil Singh has made was regarding section 29, that is conspiracy. So he again explained the section 29 of NDPS on why section 29 has been applied against Aryan Khan, against Arbaz Merchant, and all the accused, all the 20 accused arrested over here in this particular case. Though they might not be knowing each other, but they are somewhere or the else connected to the case. They are connected to the crime that has been registered by the Narcotics Control Bureau. And this is what exactly takes the case to another level. These are very serious charges that the NCB has brought up. We had reported yesterday that NCB is going to bring some new revelations, going to bring to the table some new revelations, some new evidence will be put forth in front of the judge while they oppose bail for Aryan Khan.
Now,
and that is what NCB has done. That
Absolutely.
is what
I just want to read out, Divyesh and Saurabh's teams, which are inside the Sessions Court right now and are reporting live updates for us. And that's the reason why watching India Today is just the next best thing to being inside that courtroom, because you're getting live updates from what's happening inside, as you can see in that graphic. I just want to read out for you the very latest that's just come in to all of our viewers. The Narcotics Control Bureau is basically saying, and I'm quoting what they've said. They say this WhatsApp chat between Aryan and foreign national, where commercial quantities of hard drugs and payment of certain mode is being conversed. That is what the Narcotics Control Bureau says it has in its possession. This cannot be for personal consumption, and that needs to be looked into. We have approached the External Affairs Ministry to locate the foreign nationals so that they can investigate that angle further. This is a big breaking angle here, and you're hearing it first on India Today. The Narcotics Control Bureau has basically just said that they have in their possession, we are not saying it, it's the Narcotics Control Bureau that has told the court this. They say that they have in their possession communications between Aryan Khan allegedly and some foreign nationals, where commercial quantity or bulk quantities of hard drugs and payment modes are being discussed. Whether it's on WhatsApp or on some other app, we don't know, but this is what the NCB is alleging. Very crucially, the Narcotics Control Bureau says that they've roped in the External Affairs Ministry now. This is a big angle that's breaking here on India Today. The External Affairs Ministry has now been roped in to help locate these foreign nationals to aid in the investigation by the Narcotics Control Bureau. This is a big one, Divyesh. Very big. The first time we're hearing that the NCB has tapped on the doors, knocked on the doors of South Block in Delhi, the External Affairs Ministry, and want their help in locating these foreign nationals who the NCB says is in touch or are in touch with Aryan Khan over some commercial quantities of drugs.
Yeah, exactly, Shiv. This has taken the case to another level. This has brought some new facts to light, and now that the External Affairs Ministry has been contacted by the Narcotics Control Bureau to trace this particular foreign national who was in touch with Aryan Khan, where conversation regarding procurement of some bulk quantity of drugs was happening. This brings to light that there could be some more people involved. NCB had earlier also hinted that there is a international angle to this whole case, and that is what needs to be investigated. They had pointed out during the last remand, also during the last bail hearing also, that was brought to light by the ASG, and today when NCB filed their reply opposing the bail application of Aryan Khan, they mentioned the same thing, that there is a foreign angle, there is an international angle which needs to be investigated. There are some people of some foreign nationals who are involved in this case, and they need to be investigated.
Very big. This is big. And on India Today, we are only reporting on the proceedings that are taking place in court. We've taken a call that we are not going to play any source-based information from the Narcotics Control Bureau. We will only report what they are saying in court, because there they are bound to be telling the truth. They are bound by, by the oath to be presenting authentic information. And in court, the Narcotics Control Bureau has just dropped something of a bombshell. They've basically said that they've got communications showing Aryan Khan in contact with some foreign nationals, discussing allegedly some bulk quantities. The onus is going to be on the Narcotics Control Bureau to prove all this ultimately. But this has just blown up and gone to the next level. And you heard it once again first on India Today, courtesy Divyesh and Saurabh and their teams, that the External Affairs Ministry under Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has now been asked to help in this investigation. We haven't got a official word just in from the MEA, but we're going to bring in India Today's Geeta Mohan and Gaurav Sawant, our two editors who look into External Affairs Ministry for India Today. They're going to be joining us in a few seconds to give us a perspective on what happens next, because You understand, viewer. You're an intelligent viewer. You watch India Today. You know what this means. It basically means that this entire case, which had been so far restricted to the Narcotics Control Bureau and a few people who've been arrested, including Aryan Khan, now is looking to rope in one of India's largest ministries, the External Affairs Ministry, to look into the foreign angle. And the Narcotics Control Bureau is not mincing its words. It says Bulk Quantity Control Bureau is telling the Sessions Court judge as we speak. Saurabh, I want to bring you in as well. It's about 5:17 p.m. right now. What time do the hearings have to end? Is there a time limit after which things will have to continue tomorrow?
Well, usually, Shiv, the hearing should get over by 6 and it gets continued tomorrow. But what is more important, that the Aryan Khan's lawyer were looking for a bail today itself, but that the time has now already run out, because if there was a bail, then they had to put in those particular paper inside the Arthur Road jail by 5:30, and that time has already ended. And the way ASD for NCB is arguing inside the court is a very shocking piece of evidence and investigation details which are coming out, and looks like he's going to continue it for tomorrow as well. He clearly said that MEA, which is the Ministry of External Affairs, has now been into this particular case. Do you know this particular WhatsApp chat, Shiv? This particular WhatsApp chat of Aryan Khan is of few years back. Basically, when Aryan Khan was staying abroad for studies, this is what the sources are telling us, that these chats are related to them. What the lawyers for the Aryan Khan is clearly saying, that you cannot connect this chat with particular cruise ship case, because these are completely two different cases. But what the NCB is clearly saying, that there is a connection, there is a conspiracy, because Aryan Khan was clearly in touch with this drug peddler, the international drug peddler. He was demanding drug peddler in a huge commercial quantity, and the money transaction is clearly seen. So these are a very new piece of evidence and investigation details which NCB is now putting forth. Clearly, let me tell you, the NCB is also telling that lot of statement they have recovered, and that statement cannot be put in the open court. They have put forth those statements to the judge and ask him to read himself. Yes, Shiv.
Okay, very important. No, you're right. That's an important point. But I should tell all of our viewers that the onus and the pressure of making all these connections, which seem to be tenuous at this point of time, will be on the Narcotics Control Bureau. They will have to establish those connections to support their claim that any chats made a few years ago when Aryan was supposedly abroad with some drug peddlers has something to do with this superstar drug bust case on board the cruise on which that rave party was being held. Gaurav Sawant joins us on this blanket coverage. Gaurav, big angle breaking here on India Today, with the Narcotics Control Bureau telling the court that the External Affairs Ministry has now been approached. They've moved the MEA in South Block, asking them to sort of jump in and help identify these foreign nationals, to help collate information about these foreign nationals as part of this superstar drug bust. What kind of machinery kicks into action now? How does this work, Gaurav?
So, Shiv, this actually becomes extremely interesting. Two aspects to it. What is it that the Narcotics Control Bureau is telling the court? They are saying that the information that they have is of a WhatsApp chat between Aryan and some foreign nationals, where commercial quantity of hard drugs and payment of certain mode is being talked about, is being conversed. Now, this cannot be for personal consumption and needs to be looked into. NCB says they've approached the Ministry of External Affairs to locate the foreign nationals so that we can investigate this angle further. Now, Shiv, this is a claim that is being made on the basis of a WhatsApp chat. If this information is given to the Ministry of External Affairs, they will try and attempt to find out who these individuals are, what are other details. The question that then remains, Shiv, is this dealing tactics? Are they trying to buy more time to keep Aryan Khan in either judicial or police custody? That's point one. Point two, what is the corroborative evidence that they've been able to get? And the point that was being raised, how is that conversation linked to the current drug bust? Is there a link? So far, the Narcotics Control Bureau, in its response, as you've been reporting all along, have said that Aryan Khan cannot be kept separate from the other accused in this case. They are linked to each other. But again, the question that the court will ask in the times ahead is, where is the corroborative evidence?
That corroborative evidence is going to be the numero uno priority as far as the Narcotics Control Bureau is concerned. Aryan Khan has already spent 11 days away from his family. It's a serious case. He was detained early in October. He's already spent nearly a week in the Arthur Road jail as well. Now let's tell you what happens next, because the hearing is on right now in court, but there are some scenarios. Aryan Khan in scenario 1, which is a best case scenario for Team Aryan, he will walk out of Arthur Road jail if he is granted bail today. It's seeming quite unlikely because arguments need to wrap up by 6 p.m. and then they'll have to continue tomorrow, which means that Aryan will have to go back. Scenario number 2, the court defers the hearing till tomorrow, looking likely at this point of time, in which case Aryan Khan will have to spend another night in jail. It'll be his 6th or 7th night. Scenario number 3, the Mumbai court denies bail to Aryan, which is what the Narcotics Control Bureau wants, and Aryan is then forced to stay in jail till the 18th of October. Today is the 13th, 5 more days, the entire weekend, and then next week is the next leg of the bail hearing. Now, breaking down the legal journey of Aryan Khan's drug case so far, the superstar son has appeared before the court multiple times, but he's got no relief from the court so far. His team has been hoping against hope that today will be the day. Aryan's first hearing was on October the 3rd when he was sent on 1-day Narcotics Control Bureau remand. That was when he was detained from that ship cruise. Aryan's custody was then extended till October the 7th when he appeared before the court on October the 4th. In a small bit of relief to Aryan at that time, the court, while hearing the case on October the 7th, denied the Narcotics Control Bureau's request to extend his remand. Aryan was sent instead to 14 days judicial custody. That's when he went to Arthur Road jail. On October the 8th, the court denied bail to Aryan, calling it non-maintainable. The court cited no jurisdiction over Aryan's bail request. On October the 11th, that's day before yesterday, 10 days after he was first detained by the Narcotics Control Bureau, the NDPS court, while hearing the bail plea of Aryan, granted more time to the drug agency to prepare its response. And today is October the 13th, where another hearing is taking place. It's almost 5:30, not very long to go before the court will have to wrap up proceedings for the day. Now, Aryan's bail plea has come up in the Mumbai Sessions Court today. It's been over 2 hours since testimony is going back and forth. Aryan's lawyers have maintained that he should be granted bail as no drugs have been recovered from him and that he cannot tamper with WhatsApp chats which are already in the possession of the Narcotics Control Bureau. Here's a quick look at Aryan's 10-point bail defense. And remember, these are the points that are being made right now in court.
Aryan Khan faces an extended stint in Mumbai's Arthur Road jail. And the superstar's son has maintained that no drugs were found on him. The big question now is, will Aryan get the bail? Here is Shah Rukh's son's 10 points defense. Defense 1. Aryan Khan in his bail plea has stated that he's completely innocent and has not committed any crime. Aryan claims that he's been falsely implicated in the case. Defense 2, the bail plea states that there has been no recovery of drugs from Aryan. The plea also claims that the NCB does not have any incriminating evidence against him, accusing the Drug Probe Agency of applying stringent provisions of NDPS Act without any proof. Defense 3, Aryan Khan in his bail plea has denied being involved in production, manufacture, sale and transport of any drug. He has even on record denied charges of illicit trafficking and protecting drug offenders. Defense 4, the Narcotics Bureau had told court that it had access to incriminating WhatsApp chats that pointed to an international drug syndicate. Aryan claimed the chats had nothing to do with drugs but were in fact about football. Defense 5, Seeking bail, Aryan argues that no narcotic drugs were seized from him and the allegations pertains strictly to small quantities. Hence the bar under Section 37 of NDPS Act, making the offence serious and non-bailable, does not apply. Remember, contraventions involving small quantities are punishable with rigorous imprisonment of a term which may extend to 1 year or a fine which may extend to Rs 10,000 or with both. Defence 6. The superstar's son has claimed that the charges would still fall within ambit of consumption of drugs, which attracts a maximum jail term of up to 1 year or with fine or both. Defence 7. Aryan's bail plea claims that recoveries from other accused cannot be held against him and the entire recovery in the case cannot be used against him. Defence 8. Aryan in his bail plea contends that he has no criminal past and was never involved in consumption or use of drugs. Defence 9. During the hearing in court, Aryan had said he had strong roots in the society and is permanent resident of Mumbai. His bail plea claims that there is nothing on record to suggest that he would abuse his liberty. Defence 10. Last but not the least, Aryan in his bail plea argues that not only is he the son of prominent Bollywood actor, but he also holds a bachelor's degree in cinematic arts from the University of Southern California. Aryan says he is a responsible citizen and has impeccable reputation and record. With Vidya in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Aryan Khan's arrest in the Mumbai cruise drug case has led to, obviously, as you know, a fierce political face-off between the Narcotics Control Bureau and Sharad Pawar's party, the NCP. In the latest chapter of those attacks, NCP Chief Sharad Pawar today has raised doubts over the Narcotics Control Bureau. He said seizures made by the central agency are far less than ones done by the Mumbai police and that there is scope for doubt here. Pawar also hit out at the Modi government, stating that there is an indication that central agencies are being used to settle political scores. Sharad Pawar's party has piled allegations against the Narcotics Control Bureau in the drug bust case, claiming that the BJP has been having a key role to play. Pawar also lashed out at the NCB's choice of witnesses and said that KP Gosavi, the man who famously was caught taking a selfie with Aryan Khan, is an absconder. Integrity and character of Gosavi is doubtful, and if such a person was chosen by senior officials as a witness, it shows their association, adding that the media management of Narcotics Control Bureau officials is good.
मुंबई पोलिसांचा नार्कोटिक्सचा विभाग आहे, त्यांनी जे कॉन्फिस्केशन केलं, जे काही पकडलं, त्याचा एकंदर प्रमाण हे केंद्राच्या एजन्सीच्या पेक्षा कितीतरी अधिक होतं आणि त्यामुळं त्याच्यातून एक गोष्ट संख्येला जागा अशी येते की राज्याची एजन्सी ही दिलेलं काम प्रामाणिकपणानं सखोलपणानं करते आणि ही जी सेंट्रलची एजन्सी मुंबईची जी आहे ती आम्ही काहीतरी करतो या संबंधीचं रेकॉर्ड सरकारला देण्याच्यासाठी जे काही करावं लागेल तेवढं सीमित काम करतात का काय अशी शंका त्या एकंदर क्वांटमवरनं ह्या निश्चितपणानं त्या ठिकाणी येते.
जिस तरह से केंद्रीय एजेंसी का इस्तेमाल करके, चाहे वो इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट हो, ईडी हो, सीबीआई हो या और कोई डिपार्टमेंट हो, उसका गलत इस्तेमाल करके नेताओं को डराने की कोशिश की जा रही है. भारतीय जनता पार्टी हो, केंद्र की एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग जो हो रहा है उसके खिलाफ डट के खड़े रहेंगे और कितनी भी कार्रवाई कर ले, सरकार 2 साल पूरा करने जा रही है, सरकार 5 साल पूरा करेगी. कितना भी डराने का प्रयास हो, हम डगमगाने वाले नहीं हैं.
And as we reported to you first, the hearing in Aryan Khan's bail plea has been adjourned till tomorrow. So Shah Rukh Khan's son will be returning from court straight back to the Arthur Road jail. Arthur Road jail, he stays another night at the Arthur Road jail. Hearing in the Aryan bail case has been adjourned. Team Aryan and his legal team had been hoping against hope that there would be some kind of breakthrough today and bail would be granted, but that is not to be. And it appears that since time has run out, with the hearing starting quite late, well past 3 p.m., the court has to shut for the day and hearing will continue only tomorrow. The bail hearing has been adjourned till tomorrow. The legal team representing the Narcotics Control Bureau says that he has a hearing to attend tomorrow morning before a division bench in the Bombay High Court, and he will take half an hour. And so it looks like it's only going to be late in the morning tomorrow when there will be a continuation of today's case. And therefore, as you know, viewer, this basically means that Aryan Khan spends another night at the Arthur Road jail. I'm going to go across to Divyesh Singh. Divyesh, this appears to have been expected. You know, with the bail hearing starting quite late in the afternoon, it provided very little time for the legal teams to wrap up their arguments, I'm guessing. So even Aryan Khan's team must have been in some ways mentally prepared for this. And now, as we had conjectured earlier, that's actually happened. It's been adjourned till tomorrow.
Shiv, it was expected that the argument won't end today. It will be continued till tomorrow, and we reported this earlier because the hearing only began after 2:45 p.m. and then there had to be arguments from three bail pleas that have been filed. 3 defense lawyers had to argue their case. After that, ASG started his argument, and he's yet to complete his argument. That is what he has informed the court. And tomorrow again, he has sought half an hour more to conclude his argument, and only after that there could be a cross, or there could be order that will be dictated by the judge of the NDPS court. It will depend on the arguments from both sides on what the judge decides on what is the order. It is yet to be decided because the ASG from appearing for NSB has yet to conclude his arguments. It will take 30 minutes more tomorrow, and tomorrow at 12 noon arguments will begin again. The ASG will conclude his argument, following which the judge could dictate his order. If the order comes before lunch and the order copy, if the bail happens, only if the bail is granted and it comes before lunch and the order copy is received by the defense, they could approach the jail authorities and start the process of releasing Aryan Khan from jail. But if it delays, then there's the Dussehra holiday, and it could be delayed further. Aryan Khan would have to stay for a few more days in the jail.
So tomorrow is the day when Aryan Khan will need to get bail in order not to stay in jail until after the Dussehra weekend. That is pretty clear. Tomorrow post 11 a.m. is likely to be when the continuation takes place. We'll have to see that. We'll update our viewers, but basically no decision today. Aryan Khan stays in jail another night tonight. Thanks, Divyesh.